Hello everybody and welcome. Welcome back to the second shelf and to a tag video. Yeah, well, will you believe it? I'm gonna say right up front, I'm not gonna tag anybody because I haven't done any tags that I've been tagged in. And so I don't dare tag anybody. But if you watch this video and if you create videos and you haven't done this video and haven't been tagged, please do the video. And for all of you who have tagged me in multiple tags, like the last couple of months, I'm just very bad and I rarely do tags. I have a couple of them that I do regularly, and this is one of them, the end of the year book tag, originally created by Ariel Bizet like a gazillion years ago. And a lot of people do this when the last month approaches to see, how am I doing? Do I still want to do in that last couple of weeks before the year ends? And there are 6 questions, if I'm not mistaken. I have them on my computer as always. And of course, I'm slightly altering the questions to suit my purposes. You know me. Anyway, the first question is, are there any books you started this year and you need to finish? I take offense with the word need. I don't need to finish anything. I read for pleasure, trying to educate myself as well, but it's not that I think I need to finish, because there are lots of books on my to read list if I feel that the need to finish anything. But there are a couple of books that I really would like to finish or have finished by the end of the year. As if you follow my channel for any length of time, you know that I don't really appreciate taking books with me into the new year. So I take a lot of to read books with me into the new year, but not books that I've already started. I just don't like that. I want to have this idea of a clean slate, which is kind of stupid, but it's just the way I roll. So anyway, there are 3 books that I would really want and will try to finish by the end of the year. And the first one I've already mentioned in my previous video and in the video before that and the video before that. And that is this collection, or this long poem by Elizabeth Barrett Browning, Aurora Leigh. I'm struggling with poetry. If you follow my channel, you know that. And certainly with the long form. But this one I actually really enjoy. It's a kind of, it tells the story of the life of Aurora Leigh, which is heavily autobiographical. In modern day talk, we would probably say it's autofiction, and it's not difficult for me. The poetry sometimes is difficult because I just don't get it, especially poetry in another language than my mother tongue, which is German. But I look at it and then I see another book smiling at me, and then I don't pick this one up, and it's still quite a challenge if I want to finish it, but I would really like to. Another book that I've started, I dipped into like a couple of pages here and there, and then maybe it doesn't even qualify as having started, but I would like to finish it. That is this one, Carmen Bulosa, the book of Anna, translated from the Spanish by Samantha Schnee. And the premise, I saw this book on Stephanie's channel, Time to Read, and she really liked it. And it is, Anna is Anna Karenina, and from Tolstoy's famous book, and she in the novel is also a writer, and this book takes that premise and it's the book of Anna. So it sounded really fascinating. It's not even that long, but after reading a couple of pages, I just never picked it up. And the last one, exactly the same thing. It was on the long list for the Booker Prize, Selby Wynne Schwartz, After Sappho, a debut novel published earlier this year or end of last year, taking this idea that Sappho was the first we know of, female writers and other writers who take their cue. And it's written in these rather short snippets, and I've read I think about 50 pages, and really enjoyed it. So I didn't put it down because I didn't enjoy it, but then, yeah, like I said, other books smiled at me and I got distracted. So these three I would really like to finish this year, and it should be possible, except maybe for the Aurora Lee. Yeah. Anyway, then the next question I'm not going to answer, because do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Nope, I don't. First of all, it's not autumn anymore. It's winter. And second of all, I don't do this transitional reading kind of stuff thing. No, that's not for me. But what I do have is another project that I can talk about. So I replaced this question because there's also a project that I'm working on. And if you're following my channel, you know it's the 1001 books by female authors that I need to read before I die list. I made my own list because all these books about the 1001 books you have to read are very male and very white, and that doesn't interest me. So I made my own list. I will leave a link to the Goodreads shelf with all the 1001 books below, and also the shelf with the to read books, because of course I included books that I had already read. And I want to finish this year with 560 books still to read. So I think there are 9 books which means I will have to read 9 books from now until the end of the year. And I think, given what I'm planning on reading, I think I should be able to make it. And why 560 books? I thought, given my age, I'm 62, if you haven't noticed or don't know, I at least want to have a chance of actually finishing this challenge in my lifetime. And so I will try the next year to increase the number of books. This year I've read about, if I finish with the 560, I will have read about 65 books from that list. So I will want to increase it to 80. Because if I read 80 books off the list every year, it will only take me 7 years to finish. And there is at least a probability that I will be still will be alive 7 years from now. So that is the other thing that I really want to focus the last, 6 weeks or so on, to get the list to 560. Number 3, is there a new release you're still waiting for? Another no, because there is not that much, I have to say, in December coming out that interests me. I don't think December is a very big month anyway for new releases, because everybody is focusing on, the big holiday sales, Thanksgiving, if you live in the US, or the UK, and then Christmas, if you live in a Western country. So the Guardian, for instance, has this list of new releases, and they don't even mention December. But I do have a book that was published in 2021, and that I have already, and that already earmarked, because I'm stupid and I hate that I would want to read. So that's Glory by No Violet Bulawayo. I read her previous book and really, really liked it. I think it's mentioned here also. We Need New Names. Yeah, here, because it was nominated for the Booker. I really enjoyed that book. And this one is a kind of animal farm thing, because it's talking about the real events in Zimbabwe, in the uprising, but people are replaced by animals. So I don't know. I'm just interested in the author, and because it's a release from 2022, I could have also mentioned it in the first question, but because I don't have a December release, this is a new release that I'm looking forward to reading. if I have the time, but I will still prioritize the other three and my project. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Well, I've answered that question already with the first question, the books that I want to finish and my project. And then number 5 is there any book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I am very, very bad in predicting like what I might like, or I mean, this might be because, yeah, I liked the start of it, but I will go with this one because people seem to hate this book. So I'm dead set on just loving it and making it my favorite read of the year. We'll see how that will work out. And the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Yes, of course. I mean, it's the 20th of November. You know, I definitely will continue with the 1001 Books project. I did fall off the wagon with my author spotlight this year. It worked perfectly in previous years when I had Louisa Edric as an author, and I also had a buddy reader, Terry, from Terry Talks Books. We read all the Edric novels together. So that worked fine. And this year I had Susan Sontag, and I just read 2 books and then I abandoned the project. There's also the Irish Lit project that I'm doing with Kim from Middle of the Book March. We're trying to read female authors from Ireland, and I think we will definitely carry on into the next year. The Book Naturalist Book Club I will follow and try to read as much as I can. And then I have some projects of my own that I'm exploring. I really want to focus on authors from the so-called Global South. Independent presses, especially Virago and Feminist Press. I want to look at their backlist and see what interests me and focus on that. And I think I will also again follow the Women's Prize for Fiction. This year and last year I read the whole long list before the short list was announced. Not sure that will be possible, because when I hear myself talk now about all the reading plans, that probably means more books to read in a month than I can possibly manage. But yes, I will make a video, of course, the 2023 reading plans. I will also have a look back and how I did. I already told you a couple of things that didn't go that well for me. But yes, I'm thinking about it and trying to come up with plans that excite me, and hopefully if I make videos also excite you. If you have any suggestions for a project that you would be interested in seeing videos and me doing, feel free to suggest things. I can't promise anything, because in the end I will do what I feel as a reader suits me, but still you can suggest things, and have been babbling on and on for long enough, even though it's again the second video in a row that is under 18 minutes. It's amazing. Anyway, so this is the end of the year book tag, at least my version of it. Again, if you are a video creator and you haven't done this tag, please do it, because it's always fun to hear what other people want to do with the last couple of weeks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, I'm looking forward to your comments, very much so. And I'll see you all soon in the next one.